Good morning, ladies. Today we're going to be talking about inflammatory foods and you. We're going to be going over the different type of inflammatory foods there are and how it affects your body. Can't wait to see you there. I'll see you on the other side. Hi, ladies. So, inflammatory foods and you. What is it? I'm going to go over my experience. I went years from the time I was my early 30s, where my knees would hurt so bad. And I wasn't extremely overweight at that time. That's one thing that I know everybody says when you're overweight, your knees, your back, your ankles, those type of things hurt. Also, I was told a lot of times it was because of what I did when I was younger. I was in gymnastics. Yes, I sprained body parts. I hurt body parts. But this was different. This was different than the normal aches and pains from gymnastics that I had become accustomed to. And I wasn't overweight at the time. I was basically average weight. I wasn't overweight. I wasn't underweight. I was where I was supposed to be. So there was no reason for my back to hurt, my knees to hurt. And it wasn't just a regular hurt. It was where at times I couldn't move. But I dealt with it because I thought it was, this is just getting old. This is what I've always been told. My grandmother had knee surgery. My other grandmother had arthritis. Just something I dealt with. So I started, loading up with the Tylenol, the ibuprofen, acetaminophen, that type of thing. It just got worse. So finally, when I hit my 40s, which I know long time go between, I was up, down, weight, dealing with the, having new kids. I have, boys that are 11 and 13. So yeah, I was pregnant through my 30s, dealing with them growing up, running my own business. So when I ran my own business, I was working 12 to 18 hours, easily a day, and getting very little sleep. So, I started saying, this is why I hurt. I'm not getting enough sleep. I'm not getting enough rest. My husband tried to tell me it's because I didn't work out. Finally, I just got fed up with it when I couldn't grasp a jar in my hand without dropping it. When I did decide to go see the doctor, it wasn't fun. I felt like I actually was being bit by a vampire. They had drained so much blood out of me. They tested me for things from lupus to a Guillain-Barré disease, and there was a couple other ones they tested me for. Lupus, celiac disease. I can't even name all the things they tested me for. They tested me for everything. Finally, my doctor just came to me and she's like, you know what? It's probably your diet. We couldn't find any allergies to foods that you were eating, but it's probably your diet. She handed me this booklet. She's like, read over this. See if you can follow this. It was a keto and Whole30. And she says, you probably need to stay away from gluten. She goes, you're not showing that you have got celiac, but you can be sensitive to it. And there's really no test for that. So I started following it. I took out the gluten from my diet. And guess what? My pain in my hands and my knees and all my joints lessened. And then I took out the sugars, sodas, basically any sugars. And I'm a big ice cream freak, seriously. That's something I have to have every night. The only time I go off of it is when I'm following a strict keto regimen, where I do a 30-day cycle and when I want to lose weight really quick. So, it's really hard for me I love my ice cream. I make my own now, keto-friendly ice cream, or I find it in the stores, which is really hard here in Oregon. I wish Rebel would come out to Oregon. But gluten was easy for me because I don't care for a lot of wheat products. I did like my dairy. Bread, I could go without. But gluten and it's just inflammatory. It's not meant for humans to consume. It was mass produced, and it's been genetically modified to mass produce it so it could keep up with, our animal feeds, our breads, our pastas, everything like that. But in the form that we use it here in the United States, it's been so modified to build up the consumption of it. So it's really not good, and that's why you're seeing so many people, with these different types of things. Celiac disease is a hereditary, it's genetic, but the intolerances to it, the inflammations from it. But then you have the sugars, those are real inflammatories. There's actually, if you check out the blog, and I'll put the link below, there is a lady that calls it the sugar aches. And she goes into in depth regarding what happens when you have so much sugar. And Americans in the early 1900s, we were consuming only 2 pounds a year. Nowadays, we are up to 135 pounds of sugar a year consumed by each and every American. That is freaking crazy. Seriously, that's just nuts. How can we consume that? But it's easy. It's really easy. It's in everything. You drink it in your pops. You drink it in your flavored waters. Things that you think are healthy for you. Water. If you add the flavors to them, unless they're the sugar-free flavors, you're adding pure sugar. Every cereal you look at has added sugar. It comes in so many different forms, and I do have a sheet for that, and I'll put that in below. The different names for your sugars. If you just look at the ingredients on things, all those sugars show up, and everything. It's just, I read labels so much now because I don't want those sugars in my kids' food. I don't want those sugars in my food. I don't want to deal with that inflammation anymore. And I am so relieved that I can get up and walk around and it not hurt. I can grab something and it doesn't slip out of my hand because I have no strength in my hand. And that's some of the inflammation that I'm talking about. But then there's like the meats that we eat. Now think about this. We feed our animals genetically modified, but it's not even the grass. We feed them processed grains that are from all the ingredients that we have. But then we add steroids, we add hormones, we add antibiotics, we add all these things. And what's it going to do to our bodies when we eat the meat that they, from the foods that they ate? It's going to inflame it, just like it inflames them. They are not healthy animals, even though they're giving all those supplements, all those, everything. It's not healthy for them. It's not what they naturally eat. So that's why you're seeing so many nowadays. We're eating, people are pushing the grass-fed, the free-roaming, the free-roam chickens, the free-roam turkeys, grass-fed beef, grass-fed buffalo, grass-fed whatever, are the healthier. They're more natural. They're eating what they were meant to eat. So in turn, we are eating healthy by eating. I know some of them can be a little bit more expensive, but think about it. Would you rather pay for it in food or in your medical bills? And those medical bills I know are freaking steep, because just all those tests that I got from the doctors, if I didn't have insurance at the time, I would have been paying tens and thousands of dollars for those tests alone. Not for any treatment, just for those tests. It's crazy. It's crazy that we're willing to sacrifice so much of our health because we want to save money on food and buy the cheaper stuff, the non-organic, which also is with pesticides and everything like that. that cause inflammation in our bodies, cause allergic reactions, that all cause us to gain weight. The inflammation in our bodies, it's white blood cells attacking our where it's becoming inflamed, and we retain water, we retain fat because of that water, and it's a vicious cycle. And it's something that we as people need to realize that we are in charge of. We are in charge of our health, and our health is 80%, and our weight loss is 80% our diet. And as you take out inflammatory foods, and some of those I'll go over, like the wheat, I've already went over. Sugars, we all know. And I'll put a link to the list below. Vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is not even vegetable oil. It is a highly processed, derived from vegetables, but it's been processed so many times it doesn't have any of the nutrients that actual vegetables have. Same with your seed oils. The best oils to use for cooking are the MCT and MCT oils, avocado oils, coconut oils. Those are cold pressed type oils, oils that you can use for cooking. Those are the best to use for your different dietary needs. Now we have the nightshades, which is another one I have taken out of my diet just because I've noticed that when I do take it out of my diet, I don't have some of the inflammation that was caused by them. The same as with wheat. The nightshades, people can be sensitive. They can get upset stomachs from them, rashes, different things. And nightshades are like tomatoes, red bell peppers, green bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, eggplants, stuff like that. You can look up online really easy and find out what your nightshade vegetables are. Potatoes are another one, and everybody knows, well, I don't know everybody, but the people that I know that potatoes are very inflammatory. Now, that's not including your sweet potatoes, but as far as your regular potatoes, you know, like the Yukon Golds, the Idaho potatoes, the red potatoes, the yellow potatoes, those are part of the nightshades, and they actually are very inflammatory, and they are loaded with carbs, which turns into sugar, which then causes inflammation, and also sugar turns into fat because it can't be metabolized fast enough from your body. So we are adding sugar everywhere. You know, 4 grams of carbs equals 1 teaspoon of sugar. So if that tells you anything. But this is actually going to be first one in my series regarding inflammation in your body and how keto can help. Keto actually takes out basically regular keto does not take out the nightshade vegetables very often, but I do, and I know, I'm pretty sure that paleo does, but the Kickstart Keto that I have, that's one of my courses online, is actually has no nightshades in it. I do not use them, and so my recipes in the course takes them out. You can reintroduce yourself to them as you finish up the course, and it's a 6-week course. You can reintroduce the nightshades to see how your body reacts to them. But I try to take out all inflammatory foods. I suggest using grass-fed meats, organic vegetables. I know sometimes it can get expensive, and it's where you can. Just replace as much of the processed foods with the organic foods, the grain-fed, or the grass-fed foods, sorry, excuse me. I have been having such a hard time with that lately, but the grass-fed foods. They're organically grown, so it's not grown with pesticides, it's not genetically modified. And then use healthy oils such as avocado oils, coconut oil, MCT oil, I know there's one, olive oil. And use natural stuff is basically what the Kickstart Keto is. It's having you eat natural foods, and I'll leave a link to that below, but it's natural foods, it's keto recipes, and all the recipes are included. You have your meal plan every day. What else? It's a 6-week course. It integrates intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day, 2 meal a day plan, and encourages you to, take the MCT oils. I even encourage the collagen. That's helped tremendously with my joints, but using things such as bone broth during your fasts helps with your energy, get your fat intake in, those type of things. But you can check out the link below, and I will catch you next week. Next week I am going to go into another subject that where keto has helped me. And that's with my asthma. Crazy, but keto has actually helped me with so many things, and I am so excited to share it with everyone. But next week is going to be keto and asthma, and that's actually another form of inflammation, so it goes in with the inflammation series. But I'll see you next week, and thank you guys for joining me. Bye-bye.